The police tell us to do whatever we can to keep her there, so we've locked her window, we've locked her doors. I've done everything I can to keep her from leaving.
My 15-year-old daughter is completely out of control. My daughter's life has become a parent's worst nightmare.
My daughter's destroying everything that we've tried to do, and she just doesn't care. From one day to the next, I don't know if she's going to be found dead or alive.
2 years ago, we had moved from one state to another. She became isolated and withdrawn.
Sadara absolutely started hanging out with the wrong crowd.
She started drinking, smoking pot, and running away from home.
My straight-A student daughter is now at this point of her life basically a dropout. I believe the last full grade she completed was the 7th grade. Sadara has run away over 100 times.
She would stay in abandoned homes with drug dealers.
Sadara says she can support herself, but all she does is steal things and cons people to support herself. Sadara and her friends took about 30 grand worth of our valuables right from our own house. Inside the safe was jewelry, 2 handguns that were loaded. The SWAT team stormed the house because there were guns involved.
She had taken my car and then wrecked it. She caused over $5,000 worth of damage. Earlier this year, she even stole her neighbor's vehicle. She had been drinking and led the police on a high-speed chase. Sadara hit 3 parked cars and fled the scene.
She was arrested and charged with grand theft auto, and that is a felony. She spent 9 months in juvenile detention. While she was locked up, at least I knew she was safe. I knew where she was at night.
As a mother, I don't know what to do or what to say.
We have tried everything we can to get this child's behavior under control. We've called the police over 100 times on her. If you print out the police report, it's pages long. One more slip up from Sadara and she can end up dead or behind bars for the rest of her life.
And I'm absolutely terrified of what might happen next.
When it comes to parenting, my wife and I are very different.
I would describe Robert's parenting style as a no-nonsense disciplinarian.
When I say no, I mean no. Cindy will say no and eventually say yes.
I just give in to her.
My wife thinks I'm too tough on my daughter.
Robert loses it and demands that our daughter acts appropriate all the time.
I will call Sadara on her stuff, but Cindy just wants to coddle her. She lets Sadara do what she wants. It drives me nuts.
The way he parents, I sometimes think that it affects her self-esteem and it makes her act out even more.
Nothing scares her. We put motion sensors in the house.
And she takes out the batteries.
We've screwed the window shut and she'll find a screwdriver and unscrew the window.
We even put loose chains around her ankles so she couldn't take her pajamas off and get her jeans on to go out.
My little girl needs to straighten up her act, and if it's getting her butt kicked, that's what she needs. I don't want to mess around. I'm done arguing with a child. I want Sadara to answer for what she's done wrong.
Robert got so fed up, he moved out of the house about 4 months ago.
Because I did not want to deal with the issues with my daughter.
I have to admit, it's very difficult to parent Sadara, but if it comes down to it, and I have to choose between my marriage and my daughter, I'm going to choose my daughter.
All right, I'm glad you guys are here because this situation is spiraling out of control, right?
Correct.
Absolutely.
How many times have the police been called?
Over 150 times.
Yeah.
You have very different attitudes about parenting, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
And you think he is way too harsh.
Yes, definitely.
And you think she is way too
Lenient.
I made a list of the things you told us that you thought crossed the line here. One, you say that he's chained her ankles together with a padlock. Have you shackled this child, her ankles?
Yeah. She could walk around, but it made her limited for her running away at night so we could sleep. I put a chain on her that was about 10 foot long, and she had to drag this chain around. It wasn't chained to anything but to her, but it would make noise so we could hear her going across the tile floor. Well, she found a way to pull it up through her pants, and Mom caught her going down the road at 2 in the morning. She's heading down to Taco Bell to see her friends. And the police tell us to do whatever we can to keep her there, so we've locked her window, we've locked her doors. I've done everything I can to keep her from leaving.
I did not like it from the get-go. I did not want it to
Well, that's
happen.
moronic. The police told you that, that's moronic.
Yeah.
They need to police and not parent, okay?
Looking back,
So when you say cut her hair as punishment, what do you mean cut her hair as punishment?
yeah, she wouldn't tell us where she was, and she says, well, you can't take nothing else from me, you know. And I says, well, I'll take your hair. And I cut a little piece off the back of her hair underneath. I didn't cut her hair off. You couldn't even notice it with her hair.
It was a chunk off
It just,
her back.
yeah, a little.
For a
you know.
girl, that's very traumatic, and that's what he's not understanding. And he
Yeah.
was willing to
And I was wrong.
continue to cut until he got the answer he wanted.